I'm Lara Salmon, and I'm at Somos from California. I was born in San Diego, and I'm now based in Los Angeles. I'm now at Somos for a 3-month artist residency, and my practice is primarily in performance. After my first month in Germany, I had a performance in Esslingen, which is just outside of Stuttgart. It was at a place called Kunst der Welt, and it was a collaboration with another artist. We did a performance in his solo exhibition. His name is Yaron Guerrero Santos, and for this performance, it was on the 4th of July, which is the American Independence Day, and him and I are both American. And we, within his exhibition was a small pool of water. And so we built a rotating sculpture that I stood on in the pool of water in my ice skates. And he was attached to the sculpture, and so that when he walked around the pool, it spun the sculpture. And so he walked around the pool playing a drum as I stood on the sculpture in my ice skates and went through various figure skating spin motions. And these, so we in a way created this very long, unending figure skating spin that was, a bit ethereal. And I was wearing a outfit that I had made out of an Ivanka Trump blue and white striped shirt. Significant because it was also our 4th of July Independence Day. So right now I'm doing a month-long performance at Tempelhof Airport. And each night I go there between midnight and 1, and I slip onto the platform in front of Tower 13, and I sleep there until the sunrise, and then I bike home. I would really love for people who learn about it to maybe make them, I became very interested in Tempelhof too because the history of the building is just so complicated. It was built by the Nazis in the 30s, and then after the war, the Americans occupied it for 50 years. So in a way, I'm mounting a bit of my own little American occupation. I would hope that people can maybe think about that, think about what it means. There is no direct meaning. There is no A plus B equals C. There's no specific metaphor or purpose. So this is, my goal is that people are somehow connecting to it or finding their own meaning. What I love about performance is that I think that actions have this way to exist as ideas in our minds. And to me, this is the most powerful kind of statement you can make, is an idea. Like for me, when I first started being more interested in performance, the pieces that were most inspiring me were pieces that I just heard about. I didn't even need the visuals. I didn't need to see their documentation. Just the ideas of these actions that had been taken by these artists were living in my mind as the pieces. And that doesn't have, like with painting, with sculpture, with installation, you need to see things. But with performance, it has this ephemeral and therefore somehow perpetual aspect. My work is always body-based, even biological at times you could say, but it's always based in the body and in actions. And this is partly, I have a history of quite extreme chronic pain in my legs, and so this is like something I've dealt with all my life, and I'm always in this way very like thinking in terms of the body and aware of the body. And as I've developed as an artist, the body has just become the means, the primary material for my work. I've been working in various refugee assistant projects over the last 8 years, and so the experiences doing this work are often in my own practice as well, and this relationship between America and the Middle East, and I mean the whole complex of refugee aid is very like it's very political and can be very controversial, and when you pull in various identities. So this strand is often present in my work too. This is, if you can say that we're each somehow given something in the world that like we really care about, be it like environmental issues or you know, different types of human rights or veganism or something. For me, it's always been refugee rights, and specifically people that are fleeing from the Middle East, and how we can make sure that countries are opening their borders. Knowing that Germany had opened its borders in 2015 and there were so many asylum seekers allowed to come to the country, I was really interested in what was going on in the country and how integration, you know, for whatever that word means, was working. So that was one thing, and I was also maybe a little bit burnt out on the performance art scene in Los Angeles and wanting to push myself in terms of maybe the poetics in my work, and location, site specificity. So all these things I'm getting a chance to do in Germany. And another big reason that I wanted to be back in Berlin is that my family is German, and my grandfather, he's a quite well-known German scientist, and so my mother, you know, she speaks German, and she grew up part of the time in Germany, part of the time in California. And I have these, I guess these roots that I'm interested in, and my grandfather has a Nobel Prize, and so he's quite celebrated here in Berlin. There's a Max Delbrück Centrum for Molecular Biology, and I think there's part of me that like loves to look at what I'm doing now and think that I make so much work about the body. And my grandfather was this man who, I mean, he was known for rather founding the field of molecular biology. And so for me, there's somehow this connection. For me, the best kind of art is when I go to see something, it's visually, aesthetically captivating, and then I have something to go home and think over and chew about in my head. So I hope that that's what they get. Some bigger issues to think about without being heavy-handed, and you know, hopefully without being provocative, but just some nuances to think about.